Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to Creating Cash Flow, where today we are going to be diving into my Turo earnings, and we're also going to be looking at how much I've earned on here.co in 2023 and over the last quarter. So if you're new here, the purpose of this channel is for me to be able to test new ways, different ways to generate cash flow, passive income, where I don't have to do anything to generate income, and I share my results and everything I've learned here. So if that's interesting to you, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos. So just as a quick update, if you're new here, I do have a Jeep Wrangler 2020 that is on Turo, and Turo isn't perfectly passive. I don't have to do much, but I do have to go pick up the car from the garage here in New York City. And I also have to make sure the Jeep is clean for every customer. So far, I have a perfect 5-star rating, which I am happy about, but I haven't had that many rentals. That being said, up until about a month ago, I had 0 rentals on Turo for this entire year, which is surprising because last year, June and July were some of my hottest months. I had the car set at a very high price tag and people were paying it, and even people were coming back and paying it again. So I thought that was pretty cool, but this year I dropped my price to be a little bit more competitive. And then I got a notification from Turo that said, you haven't been on your listing for 30 days. We are going to deactivate your listing. But I was having suspicions that they already had deactivated it earlier because I had some friends that wanted to rent my Jeep and they went and looked for it on Turo and couldn't find it anywhere. So I'm not exactly sure why the SEO was not very good on Turo. But once Turo came in and said that they had deactivated my listing, I went in and had to reactivate my listing, which honestly, it took 2 seconds. It was just a quick button that says reactivate listing. And the strange thing is, and this is where I think it's a little bit weird, shortly after that, I ended up getting 2 bookings back to back. So for some reason, I think my listing was super buried, but after I relisted it, it must have helped because I ended up getting 2 bookings. So let's jump into the app and I'll show you it really quick. As you can see here, I have my Jeep Wrangler and I had actually lowered the price to $150, but after those 2 bookings, I figured I might be back in the game, so I bumped the price back up to $195, and I haven't had anybody book since, so maybe that isn't working very well. But if you go into the business, you're going to see, just like I said, the earnings is $270. I have it on the highest warranty, so I only earned 60%, but I do that because I love my Jeep and it's brand new. But as you can see, the earnings have been pretty slow with $270 earned. The performance is obviously great. I have all 5-star reviews and I am 6 trips away from being an all-star host. So that's my Turo update. If you have any questions or if you also do Turo and you have any suggestions, I'm open to hearing them. So just leave it in the comment section down below. Now, moving on to here.co, and I know a lot of you started following me because of here.co, and so I am here to report back on my investments in here.co to let you know how they're going so you can decide if you missed out or if you didn't. So right here, I'm looking at my portfolio. I have invested in 2 different properties. I put $1,000 into one property, buying 1,000 shares of that property, and I put 200 shares in another property, and I just got my August payout. So to show you what my August payout looks like, all time, my rental income is $27, which might give you a hint of this last quarter, where apparently I earned 12 cents. And then they're claiming I had $17 in appreciation, so that I have an overall total return of $17.63 over the last quarter. So I'm not exactly sure how they came across the 12 cents. I don't even know if I can transfer this 13 cents out of here.co because it's such a small amount to have to transfer out basically a dime out of here.co into my bank account. So I'm just gonna let it sit there for now. If I look at Moonridge and Big Bear and then switch it to last quarter, I'm gonna see that my appreciation actually dropped $1 and the rental income was solid 0. So obviously that is a horrible, horrible return. If I would have just kept it in a high yield savings account, I would have been earning about 5% on that $1,000. So this was a huge L for me over the last quarter and so far over the entire span of my investment in here. this has not been a good return. So looking at Hacienda in Santa Fe, you'll see that that's where I got my 12 cents of rental income, and I have an appreciation of $18.52, which again, if I would have just had my money invested somewhere else, it would have been much better. This is exactly why I only put $1,200 into here.co. It seemed like a potentially cool opportunity to get into real estate at an incredibly low price of a minimum buy-in of $100. And I wanted to test it. Again, I don't think that this has been a successful test. So as they come out with new properties, I probably will not be putting more money into here.co. It was a small test, and I'm happy that I was able to learn, and now I've shared with you. If this changes in the future, I will let you know as this potentially turns around, but it doesn't seem like it will. The founder of here.co is now sending out an email blast every single day of the top 5 investment property rentals, and I feel like he may not be putting as much effort into actually buying properties and continuing to do this. So overall, it kind of feels like the project is failing and they're potentially looking at a way to pivot. And that pivot seems to be an email list to everybody about top 5 beach house rentals today or top 5 A-frame rentals today. If you want to get on that email list, I can add a link to it. It's kind of fun to look at, but the whole point of this was to be able to get into real estate investment for a couple $100 or even $100, rather than I can search Zillow and find my own properties, but then I would have to buy that property and I'd have to manage that property. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any additional questions about here.co, be sure to leave it in the comment section down below. I would love to continue this conversation with you. And with that being said, I hope that you make today an incredible day. See ya.